Group A continues. The Anniversary Cup, ladies and gentlemen. We have the three-legged cats going up against the green cats. So it's a cat fight. Well, I had to go for it. So, kind of wild because, like, in the bracket, the red team is actually called Team Cat Green. And I'm just not saying this the entire time. I don't know if TCG is some kind of abbreviation that they were aiming for, or if somebody just screwed it up, but at the end of the day, they're the green cats, and they're going up against the three-legged cats. So, this is our losers bracket match. This is actually an elimination match right now, and it is a best of 5. So, in the group, we have, in the early stages of these group matches, we have best of 3s. And then as we're heading towards the final games where the teams are fighting to get out of the group and enter the playoffs, that's where we have best of 5 matches right now. So at this point in time, we have another best of 5 series. There's no draft restrictions, so you can pick whatever you want. And that is also the case for every single series. So there's no pre-bans, there's no you can only play hero once rule. And Vikings are already banned out. Sad. We had some nice Viking games. We had the winner bracket final, which was an absolute blast with a couple of real shocking moments too. So if you haven't watched that yet, I can highly recommend that you check it out. Winner bracket final between Team Rip and the Exodia stack was just awesome. So great series. If you haven't caught it yet, make sure that you check it out at some point. Totally worth watching. Over here though, what can we expect? Is it going to be the cats that take it? Is it going to be the green cats? Green cats took actually Team Ash out, so definitely a team that you shouldn't ignore here. But when it comes to overall tournament experience, I think it is fair to say that they are still entering this as an underdog. Now, obviously, if you've been watching the stream a lot, then you look over to the names on the red team side, and you've definitely seen quite a few of these players. But if you compare that to what the blue team is fielding or what other teams have, then obviously it's quite clear that they don't quite have the same amount of tournament experience. Still, they made it this far, and they have a chance to go to the next match, which is obviously the losers bracket final. So there's not too many steps that are removed from a possible participation in the playoffs themselves. First pick though. What are we going to get as our first pick now for the team? And it is Leoric. So, Schall Swiffer. Still can't really condone the skin. I personally am still old school. Ice Giant, Leoric, even with a blue carpet. Normally, you know, I'm all on the money pick, and money pick, of course, on Leoric is also fantastic. But I will let a doubloon slide. I will let a blue carpet with an Ice Giant skin slide. Leo still has a special place in my heart, and yeah, kind of fun. Definitely kind of fun. So, Lucio and Junkrat start us off on the side of the blue team, so they're going full Overwatch right now. I mean, at that point, you know, you might as well go for it. Full Overwatch, just use that. Sergeant Hammer and Oriel for the cats. Well, for the green cats. Oh god, this is going to be annoying. I should rename one of the teams into, like, cats versus dogs or something. Like, I would probably... They have to battle for the title of cats, something like that. I have to admit, when it comes to cats, it's the only thing that is on my Instagram feed. I am horrible with Instagram. I really don't like it. I hate making stories. I post like a picture every couple of months, maybe. And most of the time it's just like cycling stuff. But for some reason, my feed only shows me cat videos these days. And it's the only thing that I sometimes look at. I'm definitely not one of those doom scrollers that spends like an hour on Instagram, but every now and then when I open it up to see if I got some messages from friends that are mainly using Instagram as a messenger, and then see some cat videos, they're always amazing. I don't really want to have a cat, but I gotta say, they are funny. So yeah, cats are very, very funny. And here we have a lot of them. We have 10 cats in this one. So, here comes Hogger. And we get Muradin. Alright, let's go. Hogger, Muradin at the front. Hodder pulled action or stuns if they want them. On the other side with Oriel already claimed. We still need a frontliner. And we need some extra damage. And with Towers of Doom, you also have to ask yourself, of course, if Forza is going to be picked by one of the teams. With the Haka already banned, you could still go for Global here. Sylvanas for the extra damage and pressure. And we get Garrosh. So you can just protect the hammer the entire time. Throw everything away here as much as you want. And it leaves us with a final pick on the side of the blue team. Drak here. What is he going to play for them now? still in need of some additional damage. Again, false that would add utility if you wanted to go that way. Could also go for... well, they go for a mage. Li Ming, Towers of Doom. Our first map, best of 5 series, are already explained in the losers bracket of Group A at the Anniversary Cup. Let's go. Cats against cats, game number 1. On the left side, the 3-legged kind with Drachia on Li Ming. We got Herath on Hogger, Nano on Junkrat with Captain Rex and Lucio, and Twice is playing Muradin for the blue team. On the right side, in red, the green cats, a little bit confusing. Yes, a lot of colors involved over here. Hiding their talents with Jayhard on Garrosh. We got Critical on Sylvanas, Drax on Leoric, Click on Sergeant Hammer, and Guilty Spark is playing Oriel. So, let's get this party started. Who is claiming the lead in this series? Who takes another big step towards the playoffs in this tournament? Keep in mind, there's actually quite a lot of prize money on the line for this one as well. We're talking overall more than 3,000 euros in prize money. And the teams are going to be very eager to bag at least some of that. Sylvanas is sitting at the top. It's oftentimes what you see with Sylvanas, that she splits onto a lane and tries to get some power damage in. So that's what they're currently doing here. Already taking one of them down a notch a bit at the top, but the response was immediate. Junkrat was there. And in addition to that, we obviously also have them present with a bit more of a defense thanks to Hogger down at the bot lane, the 3-man. It's all about Sergeant Hammer. First of all, as a hope generator, and then also just like trying to get the minion waves out. Until level 7, they're just going to try and do what they can. But then afterwards, when you have the mobility, then it's going to get much more interesting around how aggressive they're pushing onto those structures with her. For now, though, they're already doing some work. So, yeah, they're already doing a little bit of work with this. So, not too shabby. Talking about doing some work, they're starting to also get aggressive here. Yep, starting to make some potential plays on Sergeant Hammer. At least trying to see if they can maybe get a hit in. Right now, that hasn't worked out yet, but still, topside. You know, having Drax and Herath still locked into their 1v1. But with the camps now being targeted by the teams, it's Muradin that falls first. So, Muradin is gone. Muradin eliminated. And that basically guarantees the red team that they're also going to get the Pumpkin Camp. On the blue team side, we've already seen that claimed. So they have it already locked in fairly quickly. No problem here. Then on the same side, of course, the push at the bot lane still continues. The talents, Indomitable on level 4, as you would expect. For Sergeant Hammer, it's Siege Tactics. Leo loses in the one-on-one up at the top lane against Hogger. Not really the biggest problem, because it's obviously going to respawn quickly. But still, him losing there is always a bit of a bad sign. There's not a lot lost. The experience that is gained by the kill might be a bit annoying, but thanks to him respawning on side, there's no travel time and no experience that you really lose out on. Li Ming has gone into the typical build with Aetherwalk on level 1 and then Triumvirate as a level 4 choice. And yeah, level 7, once that he kicks in, is going to set at least Sergeant Hammer up. But the next objective, or the first objective, is obviously now also starting to pop up here. So this is going to be the next thing to really pay a bit of attention to, as the triple altar phase spawns and the teams will try and get 2 out of the 3. I kind of doubt that we're going to get a team going for a triple, but Hogger is actually stealing the top right away. So I suppose there's a bit of a chance if they can interrupt here again. And they do. The whip! That was a dangerous one. Oriel cancelling to try and connect the whip. If that would have worked, that would have hurt and potentially led to a kill. So Hogger is now trying to take it at the top left. There is a chance that they're taking all 3. They could actually take all 3 here, considering how this is going. Just saying. So, yep. Let's see what they can do with this. I mean, right now, it's a fight over the bottom. Temple more so, or bottom more than anything else. Top left channel has happened. So there's the opportunity to get 3 out of 3 and work towards a 40-0. Hammer has no mobility. And no Calamity. Seeker. Seeker against Sergeant Hammer. Li Ming trying to go for a bit of target practice with this. They are shielding Mirrodin as best as they can right now. Garrosh is moving in for the interrupt. And Mirrodin cancels, tries to connect the Stormbolt as he walks forward, but can't make that work. And with Sergeant Hammer now slowly pushing her way over here, this is of course going to make things a lot harder for them now. But Sergeant Hammer gets killed. So yes, it would have made things harder. Leo also gets killed again. Hello, what's happening? He's just activating his trait, I suppose. But dude, seriously, that's 3 out of 3 altars taken by the 3-legged cats. So they're off to an absolutely fantastic start here in game number 1. That's about as good as it gets. We have 3 kills to 1 and they're working on number 4. Lock it in against Oriel. Woof! This is not a good start into this best of 5 series for the Green Cats. To be fair, this is a late game map. We've seen comeback after comeback after comeback on Towers of Doom. So I wouldn't count them out yet. It's way too early. We don't even have level 10 abilities. But suffice it to say that this is not the start that you're looking for. This is not really ideal. Sylvanas at the top, trying to go for the camp. Hogger very happy to take over, but with Leo being mid lane, he's close enough that he should be able to make a very easy play for that move towards the top and help Sylvanas out to guarantee that they're going to get that camp. But yeah, it's a wild start into this. And of course, thanks to all of those kills and what has happened so far, there's also leading experience now that translates into an early level 10, which might be something they can use here. Lucius just zipping around them left, right, and center, so no real problem to save him either. Sergeant Hammer connecting auto attacks all around, but the push at the bottom of the map results in the Pumpkins making their move straight into the bell tower and damaging it severely. And they are continuing on that. Poking with Junkrat from afar, Li Ming can do the same. Level 10 ability is now finally available for both, so that makes the defense a bit easier. But the bell tower is already so low that it falling is just a matter of time. It's gonna get destroyed 100% and taken over. So now that we have the next altar spawning, it's down at the bottom of the map. And Hogger should probably make his way over here, unless they're willing to give this one up. It's a 4 versus 4 for now, but with Sylvanas approaching, this is going to be the numbers advantage that the red team has been looking for. And Hogger doesn't care. They're just going to try and interrupt here. They don't care about a 40-0 and any records. They're just leaving Hogger at the top lane, saying like, as long as you're doing good damage, you're fine. Lucio, nice. No problem for him. Still able to get out. Nobody has successfully channeled the altar yet. So that's still in play, keeping the team at the bottom of the map. And the longer they stay, the more damage at the top Hogger will do. The channel finally has happened, and they get it. And Mirrodin gets also killed. Nice BFG also from Sergeant Hammer. Wasn't needed to take Mirrodin out, but they all lined up just at the gate, so that did a lot of work for them. At the top, the entire wall is destroyed. Hogger has even been able to do some damage to the fort itself, albeit not a lot. 4 kills to 2, and is now moving down to the bottom of the map. Got interrupted on his stun, but they're still jumping on to Oriel, trying to get that kill. Hogger's stun is back in 2 seconds. Yeah, and he doesn't lock it in. The angle was just not good enough, and the position there wasn't either, so no real worth in trying to use that. But if the initial interrupt against his ult wouldn't have been executed, that could have been a kill. Talking about kills, Aegis used, Sylvanas still dead, and they are hoping for more. They will get the bell tower now. So that bell tower is about to get wrecked. They're gonna take this one for sure. I'm actually surprised that nobody snuck in on the side and just unleashed a single salvo to eliminate it. But I suppose they're gonna try and push them back right now as we speak. But the red team is actually holding on to this way longer than I expected them to. I mean, there's also a question of, do you want to convert it now or wait for the altars to spawn, so that you can convert it just at the perfect time when you can get value out of it. And even now, even if you convert it right now, you might get 1 additional point because you channel the top left, but yeah, not a whole lot. So, are they heading over to take it? So far, all of the avenues are being shut down by the opponent. But you have a level 13, and wow, they're even going for glass cannon. Li Ming, Dracula, definitely with the confidence here. They get good damage in. Garrosh with his taunt on 10. But nice connects from Li Ming. That was a big one just now. The exchange at the top left, top right has been shut down a bit because they are attempting to interrupt Junkrat. He is able to get his Riptire out, and all of a sudden it turns into a trap against Leoric. Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas just barely saves the day, but they are going for an attempted steal. They want to steal this one away, and you know, if there's no assistance coming, then they might even be able to pull it off. The BFG just passes through. Yeah, not able to connect with anyone. There's the channel. Still the bell tower at the bottom right is being held, but it's now 32 points on the core against 24. Still that half-level lead, but the kills, they keep on coming for the blue team. The three-legged cats, they are at 6 kills now, 2-2, and their numbers are definitely getting there. Junkrat, on the other hand, gets killed. But Sergeant Hammer might now be in trouble. That little flip was not too bad, but for a moment it looked like Sergeant Hammer might have to pay the price on this. And it's still not quite over. Li-Ming is coming in and is looking for resets. Yeah, with that build, she's obviously going for massive amounts of range poke here. If this was a Calamity build, then maybe she would have had a chance to get some snowball going. But that's something that you don't really want to execute if you're attempting to go for Glass Cannon in the first place. I mean, one of the main reasons why this build is being played either way is because of the combo of Garrosh and more so Sergeant Hammer. The idea of the red team is, of course, to tank a lot of the damage that is dropped onto Sergeant Hammer, to tank that out with Garrosh, for example, to make them survive here. But if you have Li-Ming with Glass Cannon and then on level 7 Seeker, then of course that's a ton of damage that you're tanking, and this is going to accelerate you dying by quite a bit. Now, the orders are spawning again. There's still that half-level lead for the blue team. Much more than that. The damage output at this point is at 32,000 for Li-Ming. We have 36,000 for Sergeant Hammer. And all the way up on the top right now, the attack onto that point once more. Trying to take out that next bell tower. But also at the bottom of the map, even more action. So, off we go. Can they get some kills here and get to that altar? Only a single altar now in this particular rotation. Now, level 16 talents are now also available. That gives us also Mirror Ball. So Li-Ming getting even more dangerous in this. And Muradin has opted for Imposing Presence as his level 16 talent right now. Yeah, still everybody now going for that fight. Some pumpkins have been taken too. So that's the next one. And here comes the next attack. The next big play to be made. So as it stands right now, they are looking pretty good, the blue team. The three-legged cats, they're pushing them back. They take control over the area. And Nano is going to get the channel. Nano and Junkrat also just absolutely a force to be reckoned with. But Li-Ming here with poke the entire time. Ah, but she gets hit hard by that BFG. Now, Muradin has died, but Li-Ming also chunked down to less than half of her HP, given the situation. That was a bit wild. You can just see that, of course, Glass Cannon can be nice if you are keeping the hero safe, but that's always very, very difficult to pull off. And in this case in particular, just one single BFG already gets her to 50% of her HP. She is leading in damage though, and there's a reason for that. This continuous poke here is also a huge problem for not only Garrosh, but also Sergeant Hammer, of course. So it's bearing some fruit. But the red team has not given up on this game yet. They might have had some problems in the earlier stages, but at this point they are slowly coming back into this. The bell tower at the bottom right has never been converted. That has actually never happened. Top side is also taking a lot of damage, as you can obviously see. So structurally, they are for sure falling behind. But there are definitely ways for them to play around this. And that's what they're currently trying to do. So the blue team is attempting to maintain that lead that they have and push their advantage further to get farther and farther ahead here. But there's definitely a lot of options for their opponents to try and get back into this. So down at the bottom of the map, that bell tower likely going to be taken out, but they want kills and they're going for it. Sergeant Hammer gets stunned out for just a moment, but some space gets created. Riptire coming in, and it's just not enough to break through. But the bell tower has been converted. So the bell tower is out. That's the first one taken, and it all is happening as the third altar phase, the triple altar phase is starting. So now they have the chance to get massive damage in. The first 5 shots already connect and drop them down. But Leo steals the top left. I like it. As the blue team was trying on the top right, here comes Leo, steals it out. But the interrupt of Sylvanas with the Wailing Arrow just connected a bit too late, so that didn't happen. Garrosh gets killed, so he's gone. 7 kills to 4, 10 points on the core of the red team. So they are definitely falling behind here, but it is a wild first game. 11 kills in total right now. Damage output for Li Ming is at 49,000. Sergeant Hammer just laughing about that because, well, it's 62,000 damage on her end. As usual, we have the heavy auto attacker just wrecking havoc with all of this. But they are maintaining the control of the bell tower at the bot lane as much as they can. With Li Ming being around, can do a lot here. But it's still crazy to just see how every single mine that Sergeant Hammer throws out that connects with Li Ming is chunking her down heavily. So yeah, Li Ming is not having a lot of fun here whenever she becomes the target of the opponent. So that's one thing to definitely keep a bit of an eye on too. But then again, as long as they maintain the bell tower control, they don't care. As long as you maintain the control here, you're fine. And they are closing in on level 20 as well. So level 20 is kicking in very, very soon. And then with Storm Talents, they can possibly get those 2. If they get both of these altars, if the situation on Bell Tower stays the same, then they are winning the game outright. Leo is now dead at the top lane. That's more bad news. Now you have level 20 against you, and there's altars spawning. So the cats in green and red, however you want to talk about them, they have to make... No! They have to get kills, not get killed! No! This is... Oh my god. The attempted kill by Sylvanas. Sergeant Hammer died. Sylvanas is all alone between bell towers. That's the end. This is game right here. Lucio died, but that's not going to be enough. She's trying to get a hit here. First 5 shots are already being fired. A channel at the bottom now will end this first game. The lead in the series goes to the 3-legged cats. Or at least it should. I mean, these guys are trying to do their best, but it's already over. The altar channel has gone through, and that's a 1-0 lead in the best of 5 for the blue team. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Battlefield of Eternity! So, we have map number 2 coming up. The 3-legged cats prove to be a little bit stronger than their green counterparts, at least initially. So the green cats currently on 0 still as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. So it's time to try and figure out which team is going to be successful if this is a 2-0 lead for the blue team. Now obviously this is a best of 5 series, that would just give you the lead but not much more than that. And then the cats come back, yes or no. Now, no draft restrictions means all of the heroes that have been played can still be played here. So what are we going to get in regards to bans? What special tactics are going to be employed here? With this being BOE. Okay. Garrosh Zarya is being shut down. That's the first thing that happens. I would love if the cats... God, I keep calling the blue team the cats because I'm just used to them being the only cats around. So now every single time that I'm talking about the cats, like half the time I catch myself. I think it's probably going to be the most confusing cast for anybody listening because I will slip. And then people are like, which team is he talking about again? But yeah, so the blue team. They have a... tendency is the wrong word, but they have a reputation. Reputation is probably the better way to phrase it. To play Cho'Gall occasionally. So sometimes you will see a Cho'Gall ban against them. Now, I don't think that they're actually that keen on playing Cho'Gall, but it would be funny if right now they were able to bring Cho'Gall out against the red team and make a play there. That would be pretty cool to see. I don't really expect that to happen. It would be kind of funny though. If against an opponent you know that might not anticipate it, you can make a play like this. Vala gets banned. Also Chromie ban consistently against Nano, obviously. He's a fantastic Chromie player. And yeah, it's fairly normal to have Nano's Chromie banned at least at some point. Oftentimes even Hanzo and or Mephisto are getting banned too. But when it comes to immortal damage, they have to make a choice, obviously. Li Ming would be a nice one for damage. You could go Hanzo. There's a couple of others as well. For now, the side lane is focused, and Blaze, therefore, gets taken. Actually claimed by Drag here. Could also swap that over. Again, he played Li Ming on the last one. He oftentimes plays the damage dealer for the team. Now, over on the red team side, there's Hanzo. So there's your immortal damage right there. And we get Lucio again. Yeah, it's this Overwatch focus lately, isn't it? I have to say one thing about Lucio, though. He has some pretty sick skins. Some of the skins that he has are pretty darn good. Blaze and Diablo, big front line, so Twice comes in here and adds Blaze to the mix for some neat little wall stuns and follow-ups from... yeah, Diablo is in for the wall stuns and Blaze with the jet propulsion follow-up. And Genji, so we could get Anduin. If Anduin doesn't get banned out now, a light bomb engage would be a possibility for the Cats. I personally expect that Dracula is going to be the one ending up on Genji, if I'm honest with you. So, we'll see. But that's definitely another possibility here. I mean, either way, Anduin gets banned. So, the light bomb engage is not going to happen. Still can do a lot with Genji. Nano could also play it. But I'm a little bit curious to see if he maybe goes into a mage after all. And sometimes, I'm not saying this happened here, but oftentimes, sometimes you're just like having a guy pick a hero and hope that others don't get banned. But since Genji was picked, it doesn't really matter because Anduin ban was a logical consequence of that, or at least a high probability. Chen getting banned is also a little bit sad. Every single time I see a Chen ban, I was like, we could have had Chen. I like the Capybara style the most when he gets played as a main tank, as we've seen in some of the Korean games. But now we have Muradin as well. So Stormbolt connects. And Imperius for the side lane. Okay. Good old Muradin Stormbolt into Imperius lunge stun and getting that CC chain going. If Hanzo goes for an arrow, that would be the perfect setup for him also to YOLO an arrow out and add even more CC on top of that. But for the blue team, moment of truth. Are we going to get one of the mage heroes? Are they doing the Genji swap? Yes or no? They go Greymane. Alright, so Greymane and Malfurion. Definitely a bit of a different setup for them right now. And with that, they have lots of immortal damage, of course, thanks to Greymane. And we get Artanis on the other side. Imperius and Artanis together with Muradin for the front line. Ooh, they picked the liability. The liability on the side of the red team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go and try to find out if they can make that work somehow. Battlefield of Eternity is our second map. We are in the losers bracket. It's a best of 5 series here at the Anniversary Cup. The second game in the best of 5 series plays out on Battlefield of Eternity. And we are heading straight into the action with the blue team going for Captain Rex on Malfurion. We have, at the same time, Dracula on Blaze, so playing the side lane out here. Nano on Genji. Twice is playing Diablo for the team, and we got Erath on Greymane. As over on the right side of the map, the green cats are trying to be the top cat in the house. We got J-Hard on Muradin, Guilty Spark on Lucio, Drake-Click on Hanzo. We got Drax on Imperius, and Critical is playing Artanis. Obviously, for amateur opponent, as a level 1 choice. Still gotta say that Artanis, very mixed bag. Very, very mixed bag here, and I'm not so sure that that's going to be a winner for them, but time will tell. Usually he's more of a punching bag than anything else, but maybe with Hanzo plus Artanis, they have enough to rush the Immortal down and win the game through the objective, focusing on that a bit more than anything else. So, we'll see. Time will tell what they can do with it. But suffice it to say that right now the blue team is in the lead. They want that 2-0 advantage over their opponent. If they are able to... and they get the first kill. If they are able to get that lead, then it would be fairly easy victory is kind of wrong, but it would be a fantastic spot for them to actually get that win. It's very, very difficult to win 3 in a row when you're down 2 maps already. So some teams have pulled it off in the past, but it's always a huge highlight because it's not something that people really expect. So as is right now, thanks to the kill, they get easy access to that bot lane camp and they lock that in right away. There has been a rotation towards the top by the green cats, so Blaze is alone on the lane and will have to deal with Imperius and Artanis, meaning this camp topside is a loss for him. So it's an even exchange on camps that they're getting here. At the bottom of the map, Pradi here continues too, as the wall is slowly starting to get damaged. Muradin is getting flipped around a little bit. Jumps out after all then towards the end, but there is pressure here. There's a lot of pressure here. Genji has moved into the middle and is actually interrupting the rotation of Artanis. Not really willing to fight that out, but just poking him off as at the bot lane, with more heroes switching towards the middle to attempt to assist. Greyman is going full Worgen form on us and is able to get a lot of damage in. Nano was a bit close to maybe dying here, so they were hoping to intercept him and take him out. That didn't happen. But with the wall falling, Diablo now also just rushing around. Gets swapped in though. Hanzo gets killed by Greymane, who sees an opportunity and just goes for it. Good for them. Blaze still at the top. And this is 2 kills to 0. Nearly a level advantage for the three-legged cats. And a very, very nice spot for the red team to, sorry, for the blue team to be in, as they're now going for their camp to sync it up with the objective, the first immortal to spawn on the map. Off to a good start. The 1-0 lead definitely helped them. Now they have some momentum going for themselves too. And they're going to try and see that through, of course, with objective number 1. If they can get level 7 with it, that would be great, but it's oftentimes a little bit unlikely. So they opt for a defensive posture, as Greymane is immediately at it. Worgen form and just ripping away on this. Now, down at the bottom with all of the immortal damage that they have, the red team is not getting lazy about this. They are actually the ones that nearly win the halftime show. They just have to give it up by a couple of hit points. But with amateur opponent and Hanzo, they have of course a lot of tools that they can use to make this happen, and this hurts. So blue team will have to defend a bit as well, but they got Greymane over here, and he's just soloing this thing like a boss. Whereas the red team is going for the aggression straight in the midst of all those stun circles. Guilty Spark rushing out. Attacks still coming here. And can they get the kill? Lunge and the lock on Malfurion and the kill. They swap on Diablo as he gets away for now, but eventually they are hunting him down and take Dibbles down. So 2 kills to 2, but the Immortal, of course, has been taken in the meantime. That was the one thing that they got for their troubles. The first objective, Immortal number 1, has been claimed. So, good job. Now they just have to ensure that they're also getting some damage done with it. And, well, let's see if they can. I mean, right now, the biggest question is just how much can they actually do? Because I didn't really expect them to do much more than just taking the wall down, but they are going for that fort and start to chunk that down heavily. Imperial is not even here. He's at the bottom of the map dealing with the mercenary camp that already took the first fort out. Guys, this is starting to be a little bit of a disaster for the cats. For the green cats. They're getting a kill on Malfurion, but this fort is gone. That's both of the forts eliminated. The camp that was timed to the bot lane was perfect for the blue team. And now they've just, with the first objective in the first Immortal fight at the 5-minute mark, eliminated both of the forts of their opponent. That is massive. That is a gigantic advantage over an opponent. So, whew, that hurts. That's a massive problem for the red team. They now don't have any fountains in that area anymore that they can rely upon. And catapults are, of course, starting to travel through those lanes as well. This early in the game, that usually doesn't really play a big role, doesn't make a difference, but still. It's nice that they stole the camp here, so that's at least something. But this first objective was amazing for the blue team. And that wasn't that big of a shield. I mean, it was like a 50% shield, roughly, not more than that. So, I gotta say, that came a bit out of nowhere. But, then again, right now, the attack at the bot lane is centering again around the attack of the blue team as they are chasing them. Pushing them back out. There's no level 10 yet. I mean, both of the teams are still a level away from it. Nobody is mega close or anything. But they are willing to fight. They're just trying to create more pressure. The blue team, they have more tournament experience. I talked about this earlier. And they're attempting to use it. They're applying pressure the entire time. They're looking for cracks and hope to try and take some heroes out. And then exploit the advantages that they get through it. They will still get level 10 a tiny bit faster than their opponent. But, yep, the attacks here, they are going to keep coming throughout all of this. Now with the next Immortal spawning and level 10 abilities now being available, that also of course means that they have a bullet that they can use and try and take him out. But already they lock down Hanzo and they get another kill. It's kill number 5. And that is the biggest damage source for the Green Cats against the Immortal. So with the objective up on the map, it's obviously a disaster for them. Not at all what they were hoping for. So, huge problem now. And the halftime show victory is a given. Hanzo comes back, but this is not looking great for the Cats. They need to get their act together here. Already, we have Haymaker used by Muradin here. The choice alone is already a bit questionable. And we get the Meme Strike. Meme Strike for Hanzo. If they make it to level 20, the cooldown reduction is going to be fantastic with it. But until then, it's going to be a bit tough. Diablo's down, but he had his soul stacks, so he will be back. But the Immortal is already low and gonna drop lower too. Now, they haven't done any damage to the Immortal yet. If this one gets claimed by the blue team, it's gonna be a big one. They go for the liability and they take Artanis down. Artanis is gone. Lucio falls next. That's a double kill right there. And they are hoping for a follow-up on Imperius, who gets body blocked as well. Tries to turn it a little bit. Gets stunned out by Blaze. Hanzo has fallen, killed by Diablo. That's Imperius gone. Only one hero remaining. It's 100% shield on the Immortal, or at least it will be. They're stealing the camps away as well. And this is just a disaster for the Green Cats. A green of envy for all of these amazing plays that are getting executed by the blue team currently. And with one level of a gap between the two teams, this is not looking great. I mean, Greymane has all the freedom in the world to simply move towards the top lane and get the team another camp, which is exactly what he's currently doing here. So they're taking their time with all of this. Another reason why they're comfortable doing it is because they want level 13 talents. They're waiting for level 13 talents as well. And why wouldn't they? I mean, at this point, there is no reason to not do that. And they're also taking another camp at the bot lane. So that's camps on all the lanes that are now pushing. In addition to that, they have a massive Immortal at the top that they can use to try and take the first keep out in game number 2 of this best of 5. But it is a tough one, a tough pill to swallow for the team in red. I mean, right now, it's the talent advantage, it's an Immortal, it's minions and mercenaries everywhere, catapults pushing in. It's a wild one. So top side, the first tower is already taken out before the Immortal even makes an appearance, and the gate falls immediately. At the bottom of the map, they're still just keeping them busy in some small little skirmishes. But the attack at the top, at the keep, this is where the shit really hits the fan for the Green Cats. Ults are already being YOLO'd out here, as they're trying to somehow defend this, but the Immortal is just barely now in melee mode. So the keep will fall 100%. There is absolutely no chance that you're gonna save this one, and that's horrible news for them. That is really, really bad news right now. Yeah, tough times. Very, very tough times. They're still hoping for some kills at least. Core loses some of its shields, but not too much. Hanzo gets X-striked and taken down. Hanzo gets eliminated, so he's gonzo. And down at the bottom of the map, I guess they could try and go for the core here even. But guys, we're only 10 minutes in. The death timers are non-existent at this point. Death timers are nothing, but they're getting kill after kill. Now Imperius is gone. It's 11 kills to 4. They're trying to make this a quickie. Apparently, Dracula or someone else has a hot date waiting or something, and they're going for a speed run. We have a 10-minute game, and they're about to end it. The core is already losing hit points. Down at the bottom of the map, we still have a mercenary camp that is pushing through towards the keep and will likely, together with the catapult, also take that out if given enough time. But the game might even end before that, with a 2-level gap and nearly a 3-level gap. They're about to hit level 16 talents, but now they're taking down Hanzo, and they drop Artanis. That's the core gone. That's victory. The Cats, the blue team, with a 2-0 lead. The blue team with a big lead and not a great situation for the Green Cats. Apparently, the blue team wants to make a statement. there can only be one cat in that house. So I gotta say that I am not quite sure how the red team is going to deal with this, because not only are they 0-2, they also got absolutely slapped around on the last map. I mean, that was a speed run. That was a bit crazy. So right now, we'll see what the Green Cats can do here. But just mentally, not only are you 0-2 and you would have to win 3 matches in a row, but also you're getting absolutely destroyed on the second map. Doesn't really feel good going into the next game here. Now, we're heading into Tomb, so we'll see what they can pull off. But the first thing that happens is Joanna gets banned out. First pick is on the side of the blue team, so the Green Cats have chosen the map. They actually made the choice here. And technically with all of the tournaments, it's the same thing. So the loser always has the choice whether they want to pick the map or they want to have first pick in the game. And in this case, as you can see, clearly the Green Cats decided that they wanted to play this one on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So do they have some kind of strategy that works here for them? We'll see. But yeah, that's Anduin banned. That's actually an interesting ban this early on. Why would you ban Anduin? Are they playing some kind of shenanigan style with Leoric, or Varian, where Anduin would just be a problem? I would say that Leo, or more likely Varian, is going to be played here. Because if you try and go for Varian and a kill comp, then Anduin can be very, very annoying. It's probably one of the more annoying ones. And there comes Dehaka and Stukov, so that looks like a Varian pick to me. But I would assume that this is a bit telegraphed too. And it's not like Anduin is the only one that can deal with the Varian composition. So we'll see. But nothing else honestly makes sense for me here, unless they really expected a Genji Anduin first pick rotation. But yeah. Nano with Kel'Thas. I talked actually, I believe it was yesterday in one of the earlier games of the cats. Of the three-legged cats. These team names. I talked about how Nano plays Kel'Thas a lot onto the Spider Queen. He didn't in that specific game, but right now we get to see that. So Muradin Stormbolt into Kel'Thas Gravity Labs. Now let's see what else they're gonna get rid of here. I would expect burst damage and variant for the red team, and now even more so. Junkrat and his just like displacing heroes. A variant ban here would not shock me. I'm not saying it's the only option that the Green Cats have, but it just seems a little bit weird the way that they're picking and banning currently. So, what exactly are the three-legged cats are getting rid of? Is there anything that really stands out? If not, they might as well, right? And they ban variant. Absolutely understandable. 100%. I mean, if the red team really wanted this, they should have gone variant Stukov in their first rotation. But banning Anduin, picking Stukov, I mean, it kind of screams that you're trying to go for a sniper comp. So I'm not quite sure if the team is now a little bit caught off guard by this and has a problem, but they're switching into Nazebo. And we get Zul. Roaming Zul main tank, apparently? Or are we just gonna get a triple frontline again? So, okay, this is gonna get interesting now. Zul with wave clear, Nazebo for potential late game, and not quite what I was personally expecting to come out of that draft for them. But the blue team with Carrigan and Hogga, yeah, there comes the aggression right there. Hogga to jump in, I mean, so many stuns, so much CC, and Medivh as the final pick. So, more like defensive tools for the team. But yeah, Zul main tank. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Game number 3. This is match point. Match point number 1 for the three-legged cats here in the losers bracket of Group A of the Anniversary Cup. The first match point for the three-legged cats. The blue team is in the lead. They have taken the 2-0. We have Captain Rex and Lucio. Herath on Carrigan. Twice is playing Muradin. Very aggressive composition from them. The team combo that they're trying to use here, of course. Trying to also prevent Nazebo to go into the late game. Draka is playing Hogga. And we got Nano on Kel'Thas. Over on the right side, J-Heart with the Thing of the Deep as his first talent on Nazebo. We got Guilty Spark on Stukov. Drag Click on Zul. Drax on Dehaka. And Critical is playing Medivh. Now, Medivh is a big X factor currently. They are rocking Azul main tank essentially, and they have Medivh for additional survivability for the portals and the shields. But Medivh will also have to really dig deep in order to facilitate all of this. It's definitely possible to pull that off. I am still curious how this will pan out for them. Very curious indeed. So let's see what he is going to be able to do with all of this. But right now, my eyes are on Medivh, on his baseline, trying to see also how much he can actually pull off with, yeah, just like the stacks on his baseline quest alone. We have to look at Nazeebo, how willing he is to like, go a little bit farther out there, to rotate between the lanes, just to simply get his own talent stack. But this is already kill number 1, I guess, against Zul, so he's gone. That's the Green Cats losing their first hero. So even game number 3 is not off to a good start for them. At the bottom of the map, we have currently Dehaka facing off against actually 2 heroes. Initially only against Hogger, but Kerrigan came over to say hello for a moment. So, yeah. The CC chain here is going to be wild. Kerrigan, obviously. I mean, we've seen her mostly on this map when Nick was around, but she's... we haven't seen her that much recently, but Kerrigan obviously always good on Tomb of Spider Queen, Infernal Shrines. I mean, she is the perfect tool if you really want to be aggressive against your opponent, force the fights, execute CC chains, and then allow your damage dealers to get those kills in. So we'll see how well she works out for them. 11 stacks for Medivh, so off to a good start when it comes to the stacking process. Oh, nice stun also against the Haka. He expected a bit of a chase and was going for a lick that he wasn't able to grab. Yep. And so far, Medivh is just firing away, always assisted or oftentimes assisted by Zul, who is roaming between the top and the mid lane. Their AoE clear is great. They have fantastic AoE clear. Better than what we're seeing from the Cats for sure. But the one thing to watch out for is really just kills, because that's what the blue team is going to try and get. Lucio, though, gets murdered. Absolutely wrecked. Had no chance here. But now the lick and kill against Kelthas as a follow-up, and all of a sudden we're talking. The Green Cats with a double kill. Nice. This is starting to look a little bit better for them now. So 2 kills now. More stacks also for Nazeebo and for Medivh. And Nazeebo is doing well. Nazeebo is getting the assistance from the rotation. And they're playing very nicely towards their end goal of getting him to 20 in the Vital Infection. They already have him at 47 stacks now. Now he needs more, of course. But that's a good start 3 minutes into the game. So, yeah, nicely done. Gravity Lapse, combo, and Medivh trying to ruin the play here. But the body blocks are too much for him to handle. Muradin has to jump out, but Zul is gone. So this is the aggression that we talked about earlier, and it all comes down at the end of the day how Medivh can play around this. Oh! And he barely makes it! This would have sucked. He's at 17 stacks. Again, it could be worse, but you don't want to lose those. 17 stacks are definitely enough to be worried about losing them. And they are targeting him now. Yep, gets through the portal. I was already starting to channel it here. But there is aggression coming from the blue team. As there should be. I mean, this is what their comp is leaning into. That's what they're trying to get here. So, currently, we're having also 60 stacks for Nazeebo. He continues with... He's looking good on stacks. Nazeebo is really looking good on this. A couple of gems have been turned in by the teams. Both of them have enough to get their first Web Weaver wave. Down at the bottom of the map now. We got, again, another camp about to be claimed. No Web Weavers have so far been picked. But I think the blue team is already realizing that whatever the game plan was, if level 20 is a thing, then Nazeebo is going to make this a problem. Nano with less than 10 hit points. Or just about 10. He actually survives despite the portal that was being set up here. But that got scary. I think from his perspective, this was a bit like a horror movie. He is able to escape though. But the red team is also applying pressure. And they're getting a kill against Kerrigan. There's a lot of gems that have to be picked up. And twice, you don't have to... well, you don't have to ask Muradin twice. But yeah, he picks them up. Jumps in and grabs them. Rides the money pick into battle like a boss. Best mount in the game. Allegedly makes you also a little bit faster. And makes you look better. Makes you look just a tiny little bit prettier. Allegedly. People have been talking about it. I don't know, it's just what people are saying. Don't ask me, it's like, yeah. But yeah, so they're trying to get that turn in and get those first web weavers. But so far, nobody succeeded in that. They're getting a bit closer though, but there's a lot of gems that are still being held by them. Now, as we have the quest completed for Kelthas, we're also getting a bit closer to level 10. The next talent tier is coming in a moment. And another kill at the top, and it's Kelthas that gets killed once more. Lucio picks the gems up, but this is actually starting to become a bit of a problem. That is the second time now that Kelthas has fallen, and the red team has now 4 kills against 2. So if the three-legged cats were attempting to close this one out with a clean 3-0 victory, then they have to step it up, because even without Varian, they're losing hero after hero after hero against these plays, and now they're losing gems. Whoa, Captain Rex! Juke City, baby! He actually recovered them. And now they are getting a kill against Kerrigan. So those plays from the red team, they are all of a sudden looking damn good. Most of the gems, by the way, have been recovered by the blue team. That's actually great. I thought they would lose way more here, but they recovered a ton. They haven't recovered everything, but they actually recovered a ton. It's still 6 kills against 2 and nearly a level advantage for the red team. But the blue team, funnily enough, gets the first set of web weavers. The stacks on Nazebo are also great. I mean, we're at level 11. He is at 105 stacks. Medivh is sitting at 27. Don't want to lose those. So he's slowly inching towards him completing this. But then at the same time now, we're having the web weavers come down. And this is really a bit of a test where they have to start making some moves. They have to show that they are able to get something done here. Take at least the walls out, maybe even a fort, at least damage a couple of them, and now come in with the aggression, because if that fails for them as well, then they are in for a very rough game. But I like the way that everything just keeps to just line up for the red team. They're doing a great job on a lot of these plays, and it has been really paying off. Medivh setting the portals up for them, making some really, really good moves, saving heroes, and then at the same... Oh, 45 gems! No! Dehaka! Not like this! Just as I'm about to praise them, they're losing 45 gems and the bottom fort. Medivh was thinking about coming in here. No way, dude. Can't do that. Oh, that hurts. The fort gone with the first objective. That's already a massive setback. But then also being in a spot where you're all of a sudden losing 45 of your gems, that makes it even worse. They looked so good the entire time. With their turnarounds, the moves that they were making against their opponents, Medivh saving heroes time and time again, setting portal ups for kills, them locking them down with tongs, with the bone prison, only for Stukov to follow up on it with his lurking arm and creating kill opportunities for the team. And now it could be 2 turn-ins in a row for the blue team. And they've lost, of course, a lot of the gems. Medivh does not dare to go for the interrupt. They would jump on him right away. So this is the second set of web weavers for the blue team. And this just starts to hurt a little bit. Yeah, the momentum here changed quickly. If they now lose Medivh... No, they do! He loses all of his stacks. And they lose a key hero. As they turn on Nazebo. He ice blocks, but he's gonna die. So does Stukov. What a disaster. It looked great in the early game for the Green Cats. Now they're absolutely getting murdered here. That is nasty. It's 2 defenders. That's all that they have left. Just as the objective is on the ground. Gems have been lost all over the place. Dehaka will likely die. Funnily enough, Kelthas dies to the fort, but the fort in the middle has already fallen. The fort at the top will fall as well. So with simply 2 objectives in a row, the blue team has taken full control of the game. And I honestly don't know if they were even able to recover any of the gems. 31 gems are still in their hands on Zul, and that is all. Everything else was lost. It's a total disaster now for the Green Cats. God, this looked so promising. This could have been the start of a comeback. And I guess it still could be. but their chances have significantly dropped here. Nazebo is at 144 stacks still. That's great. But this is still insanely tough. Keep walls are now falling 7 kills to 7. The lead in experience goes to the blue team from here on out. Boy, oh boy. That is going to be a tough one to get back into. There's barely enough gems left for first turn-in for the Green Cats. And a lot of momentum now for the blue team. Nazebo is their biggest hope, of course. Nazebo right now is 100% their biggest hope here. I mean, this is the one that could potentially just turn all of this around again if they just somehow get to level 20, get the Vile Infection here. Has a few more things that they, of course, could do until then. They had a really nice kill streak. If they can just get into that flow again, they can still get those kills. But 16 talents are now available just that little bit sooner for their opponents. That in and of itself is already an issue. Stukov with a big shove here, but they got to retreat once more. So, yeah, that's what they're currently trying to do. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Tough times. Yep, not an easy one for the Green Cats. Just as it started to look up, just as it looked like they might be able to get back into the series, they get shut down hard. So, up at the top, they're trying to go for the boss. Medivh has already sniffed this one out. I don't think that they're willing to actually risk it. Muradin is checking them out here and has a complete grasp on the situation, so they know they get the boss for free at the top. Nobody's actually coming to contest this. They're fully aware of it. So the boss gets taken. And I guess what the red team is trying to do is just get the turn in. Trade the boss defense and the Web Weaver defense. So that's what they're trying to do. And they get the turn in. But what happens here? Medivh gets killed again. No more stacks for him. And yeah, it's a bit of a disaster. The Pyroblast action that we saw from Nano so far also fairly decent. We have again a kill on Zul. Oh my god. Ugh. Even with the Web Weavers. I mean, they're losing everybody here. They're going to lose Nazebo as well. He has the stacks, but he is going down here. Muradin is already getting more than enough damage in, but he's obviously not alone. The Ice Block delays the inevitable, but he will fall. And it is essentially going to be a 5-man team wipe, I guess. Dehaka has a very small chance of escaping. At the top lane, it seems that Khaldor is actually pushing a little bit more for those Web Weavers too. They want to delay and stagger the kill. They interrupt the tunnel, and that's Dehaka. Dehaka gone. Essentially a 5-man team wipe, even though Medivh is already back up on the map. Tough times for them. Top side, lots of damage done by Khaldor. I think he's going to die either way, but so does the keep, and that's absolutely worth it. So Nano dies for a good cause here. He dies, right? Okay, at least that. They even used the ley line to make sure that they can kill him 100%. Or he might have even survived that, but job well done. So now Kerrigan is already getting busy with the next turn in here. But, oh god, put yourself into the shoes of the Green Cats for just a moment. This is really a tough one for them to swallow. But, well, it is what it is. So, as it stands right now, we have the next fight breaking out over the question whether or not the blue team is going to get themselves another turn-in. They are also closing on level 20, which of course doesn't make things any easier for the Green Cats. They're 2 levels behind now, which is just horrible. 1 keep already gone. They haven't taken a single fort out yet. But the fights continue over here. Damage output, what we have so far is 34,000 for Zul, 30,000 for Nazebo. Over on the other side, it's actually Hogger that leads the damage charge with 30k. The ley line set up. They want the kill here. Hogger moves out, so does Lucio. They both get away from this. There's another fight happening at the top, and Zul dies. Zul is gone, and now the chase is on once more. They want to go for Nazebo, and they're gonna get him, aren't they? He tries to get to the portal, can't. Medivh has already been killed in the back. Nazebo dies. He has the requirement for Vile Infection. He just doesn't have level 20. And with them just losing heroes all over the place, and now level 20 being unleashed by the Cats, they're losing the entire team again. 5-man team wipe. The entire team gone. And they are going for the keeps at the bottom of the map. They want to go for the core. They just move past it halfway. But the death timers should be good enough. So, yep, they go for the core. Keep likely gonna fall to the minion wave anyways. But this is a 3-0 victory for the three-legged cats. They make this a quick one. They eliminate the green cats from the tournament and will move on to the loser bracket final where they face off against the Exodia stack. Insane performance by the cats. Absolute statement that they're making here, and a very clean victory against their opponents. GG, well played.